There we go. Hopefully you guys can hear me now. Sorry about that, guys. So anyway, getting back to regarding about what we're looking at here on this stock right here, it hit that 700,000 share seller and the stock took off. The stock just went off bonkers. By the way, could you guys hear me on YouTube? Just give me a chat back if you guys can hear me okay. And Facebook. And just want to make sure you guys can hear me okay. Oh, okay, good. All right. Good morning to you, Norman. Good morning to Phil, Gene, Kathleen, Raymond. Good to see you all. All right. So anyway, that's really the big news. Obviously, everybody's talking about it. Everyone's going crazy regarding about AMC right now. But guys, there's so many other stocks out there. Don't even listen. The issue when you're dealing with a stock like AMC, right? We saw that big resistance levels get done at 20, and then all of a sudden, I mean, obviously now you can see a thing taking off. It is extremely volatile. Now, people say, Fausto, if I still want to trade it, what do I do? I'll tell you exactly what you do. Trade 5 to 10 times less than you used to, okay? So I know that you're looking back at it and you'll be like, could the stock be another GameStop? Could it go to 300, 400, 500? Sure, it could. And you know what? It can go back down to 10, all right? So listen, the way I look at it this way, I've been doing this for 25 years, okay? If I thought every stock that I trade was a GameStop, I would have been out of business and I would not be here probably within my first year, okay? The issue that I have that separates me from most people out there is I am too damn conservative, okay? You'll never see me brag how much money I make and say the tens of thousands, because to make that, you got to be willing to lose it. And I mean, I know a lot of people out there that sounds great, but the next millionaire out there. Listen, you need a lot of money, and you got to risk a lot to play a lot. You ever go to the casinos? And let me tell you, I do well for myself. I go to casinos, I see people playing $2,500 hands on blackjack, $5,000 hands. I'm like, what do these people do all day? And you know what's so funny? They really can't afford it. But they go there and they want to play $500,000. They want to play, they go there with like 50,000 and whatever. That's what they do. That's their thing. But in trading, listen, as a trader, we're very conservative, and that's how you last in this business. So be very careful this AMC. If you want to trade it, go right ahead. Just trade 5 to 10 times less. So let's say you're a 1,000-share trader, Trade 100, maybe 200 tops. But because if it goes against you, you won't get hurt. But at least you'll have fun with the glory. Or what you could do is, like I tell everybody, buy 1 share. Because that's the other issue. People get a little nervous. They don't trade that many shares. But anyway, there's so many other stocks we'll talk about. The list is really big this morning. It is Wednesday. We're in the heart of the week. We have most of the action. We got through Tuesday, which is getting rid of what happened over, with Memorial Day. Now people are starting to get back into it and get into trading. So let's talk about a couple of things that are moving pretty well. I do want to start off with the nice little swing trade, NLOC, okay? NLOC, we're doing pretty well on that one. This is not a day trade, it's a swing trade. NLOC just broke all-time highs, which is great. Let me just bring this up and show you there. I told you, once the stock broke and tested this resistance, I'm sorry, it's almost there, 2860. The stock will do pretty well. This was a buyback. I told you, one of the good stocks that we traded. Why is NLOC going up? Well, everyone heard what happened yesterday? The next cyber attack. What happened in the next cyber attack? Anything, listen, if it's gun control, right? If it's cyber attacks, the stocks that are in that industry are going to take off. And that's just how it is. It's all about supply and demand. There was a big hack with the meat department, with the big meat company. They got hacked just like Colonial. This was like part of the Colonial thing. It was just like a triple storm, right? Buyback, cyber attack. You know what I mean? People worrying about their own security. So there's a lot of good stocks out there that are moving pretty well. Even though the market is up only about 79 points right now with the futures, we're going to keep a couple of these stocks up there. But listen, a lot of them took some big hits like Uber. We saw Uber take a hit. We saw like Chewy take a hit. A lot of these stocks took big hits, but they're coming back a little bit. So be careful of the high-tech stocks. Now, let's talk about what happened yesterday, because we did have a couple of good stocks that did pretty well. I want to start off with CAN. So CAN came out with some really good earnings, and that we were trading it very actively. Josh actually did pretty well on it. And then, you know, once again, he's pretty conservative like me. He got in, he got out, thing popped on us, came back down, but didn't make a move until probably right around here, around 12:30. And then I had that finally broke through that resistance levels right around 9:50, and thing ran to 11. So it's not really our forte to trade stock in the middle of the day, but you know, sometimes you come back, we trade it. We know CAN very, very well, because when you look right here, this stock literally went from $4 all the way to 40. Beautiful run up, and guess what? Came really down, crashing. What does that tell me? Short squeeze. This is what we look at when you look at GameStop, when you look at AMC. You know, so you want to be very careful when it comes to stocks like this. But overall, she's nice. I might want to put it on the B list today. So that one's okay. Engine's another one that did pretty well, but she's taking a huge crush. Engine had a really nice push yesterday. I did pretty well on that one. Went from 280 all the way to about 380, came right back down. You know, and then at the end of the day, it was like garbage. But look at that. It just took a huge correction right at 8 o'clock, going right back to where it started. One of the things you got to watch out. That's why you want to hold overnight positions. You got to watch out for that stuff. BB was awesome yesterday. So BlackBerry had a really nice push. Once again, another Reddit stock, another Wall Street bet stock. You know, everyone's kind of looking at they're missing out on, you know, AMC. So, you know, what do? They trade something cheaper. So BlackBerry went, you know, right after hours. This one, it really kind of took off. And, you know, a lot of people look at it where they see like, how do you guys trade pre-market? Well, listen, why don't you like us, friend us, watch some of my videos on YouTube, and if you want to come join the trading room, just join the trading room. Do a trial. You'll see. We love the pre-market. We love the aftermarket, because that kind of eliminates 95% of the volume and all the amateurs in there. And these are the people that, you know, obviously are people like us, is what we kind of do our most of our action, and it's at that time. So that actually did pretty well. But once again, let's flip the page. That's on the art. That's basically the past. Let's focus on the future. You know, so let's talk about what's moving this morning. A lot of stocks in the big percentage gainers list. I want to start with SRNE. That stock had a really nice pop early this morning, and you know, stock's up about, you know, some really decent volume, 700,000 shares. It's not up a lot, but I saw the stock make a really nice pop right here. Right around 745, and then she came back down. She did what we call a slingshot, and she came right back up right there. But stock looks pretty decent. I want to put that on the watch list. It's not the most exciting as the other ones, but it's not that bad. I'll keep an eye on it. Bctx, biggest percentage gainer on the NASDAQ market. It's up about 100% right now. I don't know if this is a buyout. I got to double check, but it's not going anywhere. I think gapped up and then just stopped. So it's been stopping right here from $6 to, you know, $6.70. Got a very good spread. Penny spread, pretty decent. So that one's not looking doesn't look bad. Keep an eye on it. There's also warrants, which you can see W's. By the way, if you don't know what a warrant is, it's just another it's an option of a stock, doesn't have voting rights and stuff like that. Once again, I did a video on that too. Look us up, and I'll teach you a little bit. Warrants are, people like, could I trade a warrant? What is a warrant? Listen, very important you know what a warrant is and how to trade it. Doesn't trade as good as the other ones. This stock was a buyout, so you can kind of scratch this one out, the CNST. How do I know? I don't know. I didn't look at the news. I just look at the chart. When you see a flat line like that and the stock's up 13 points, there's only one way to explain it. So that was pretty much kept under wraps. I always get very impressed when I see something like this on a long-term chart. I see a stock going down like this, and it's like nobody knows. And all of a sudden, thing just wakes up. So whoever, let me tell you, the SEC looks very closely on stuff like that. You know, people listen. People break news all the time, but that obviously is pretty cool right there. When you see something like that, it looks like not too many people knew about that trade. Good morning to you, Andrew. On YouTube. And then let's go over a couple of stocks other. We got MITO. That's another one that's moving this morning, up 44% today. It's a very inexpensive stock, but you see how she's trending down. She's holding here pretty strong, right around here, around the 205 price range. We'll see how she holds up. There's a big iceberg order out there. We'll keep an eye on that one. ACIU is another one. By the way, you guys don't have to write this down. And just make sure you subscribe to our Twitter, because we will post this on our Twitter feed too, okay? This one's okay. It's starting to trend down. I might throw this on the B list. Kind of probably losing favor of that one right there. What the hell am I writing here? TRH, TRCH. That's one right there. Here's another one that gapped up pretty big early this morning, right around 5 a.m. Now, usually ECNs don't kick in around until 7 a.m. in the morning, but some stocks do trade pretty heavily. It's an energy stock. It's kind of holding here flat line right around 2 o'clock. It's up by 1.2 million shares. Nice little spread. Beginner stock, not terrible. You know, we'll see how it holds here. You know, that one's not bad. We all know about AMC. So AMC had this great run up around 4 o'clock in the morning, ran to $45 a share. It's back down to 38. Listen, you got to be careful when you trade these stocks right here. You know, let me just bring up and show you what's going on the level 4, because that's what we do here, right? We look at the big, we want to know where these orders are. It's going to take me a little while to load up because a lot of data it's going to go out there. Let me see right here. All right, just waiting for it to load up. Here we go. So you could see right here that there was a big iceberg order right around the 39.45. There's about 100,000. So once it kind of tested that, the guy was out there at 9 a.m. this morning. But when you go back, there was some buyers right here around 38. Now listen, we're talking about the stocks moving pretty big. So here, so if I go about 6 o'clock in the morning, you could see how these orders came out at 41. There's another one that came down here at 40.50. Then he basically came back, and you could see how it made higher lows. Every time that order came out, it backed off. Pretty big one right here. You can see that big dark red. The guy's been out there for a while. You know, I'm telling you, the shorts are all over the place. You got to be careful, guys. If you don't know how to trade shorts, don't be fooled on listening to some of these other people out there telling you, oh, it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. You know, listen, it's all about timing, right? Just be very careful when you're trading stocks like this, because this stock can go down to $20, right? That somebody is going to get burned. Unless you own it at 13 when we saw it, and maybe you chased it when it broke that 20 resistance levels. You know what? If you got out here at 37, you didn't sell it at 45. Does it really matter? I mean, does it really matter? You still, listen, you can't go broke taking profits. Another one we keep an eye is on BB. It's a little bit cheaper. At least this is up a little bit. This one doesn't have that downtrend as much as AMC does, but she does trade pretty volatile. One of the big things that we also teach here is, remember, not how to make money, but how to control losses, and just be very careful. The tier sizes on this stocks are very small. You could see just on level 2, you got a lot of ones. That means no one's out there telling that they want, 500, like NASDAQ, ARCA. I mean, ARCA's showing 100 shares. Okay, what does that mean? You better know what that means, because if someone's out there willing to buy it and you sell it and he's not there, you cannot get at that price. You might get it a hell of a lot lower, which makes it a lot riskier. Remember, the most important and most expensive part of the trade is not buying it, it's getting in it. Because you can only buy what someone's willing to sell you, and that's how you get in trouble. It's one of the first L's we teach at Cyber Trading University. Another stock that I want to keep an eye on is RLX. Stock's up 7%, 700,000 shares. This stock also starting to make a little bit of a higher high. You got some resistance levels right around here, around 1260. Looks like it kind of broke it. You got a 1290 right here. If it breaks that 1290, then there'll be a gap fill, and it's probably going to go it could test as all the way to 1370. Gap fills are very important and very awesome for professional traders. We love gap fills, okay? Love gap fills. What else do I have over here? I think we just got one more. And by the way, guys, if anything popped up, because cyber traders, call it out right now, because we got to get ready for the open. I've been talking a little way too much than I usually do, but we know that we definitely things always pop up out of nowhere right at 9 a.m. You always get another push in the market. Last stock is SKLZ. That one also up pretty nicely. It looks like she's starting to trend down. She was up pretty good at 7 o'clock. I don't know. Another stock was at $50, dropped down to 15. Pretty sad to see something like that. Looks like it's making a little bit of a comeback, but she's starting to trend down. So I think she's up a little too much right now, but we'll see how that breaks up. Okay, Lewis says, Fausto, take a look at SRNE. Okay, so anyway, that was the first stock That was the first stock I called that, Lewis. She's kind of holding here kind of flat. So we'll see how she opens up. Remember, sometimes a lot of these traders hold back their trades. They basically have the algorithms that they use kind of gives them a gauge of where the buyers and sellers are in pre-market, but they don't know what's really out there until all the online brokers start hitting their orders when the market opens up. So, we'll see. That's why we get that slingshot. So we'll see if maybe we'll make a spike at the open. But as of right now, probably nothing. Yeah, Tina, we did look at BB for you. Yes, absolutely. We saw that. Like he said, it's all over the place. I'm always the more cautious one, the more conservative one before it, but it's got some support levels here at 1320. If it holds there, which is what we need, then we'll be okay. Anything else I'm missing, cyber traders? Wayne says the SLNO. Yeah, that one I didn't have on my list. That one looks pretty good. It's cheap. It's up 25%. I just thought it didn't, it's moving pretty decently. I'll throw it on there. Stock took a big hit from 350. Nice, inexpensive. By the way, don't be going out there and saying, oh, it's only $1. I got a $10,000 account. I could buy 5,000, 10,000 shares of that. Guys, do not play that game, okay? It doesn't work that way. But SLNO, not bad. U1. Remember that one. U1 looks pretty good. U1 was a lot of fun. If you guys remember this stock, we traded this stock back in June. This thing ran from $1.40 up to 55. Fun stock. Yeah, we traded the other day, U1. She went from like $6 to $10. She looks pretty good. Let's see if she breaks this resistance levels right around here. But yeah, I'll throw U1 on that list. U1 has been fun, but we all know it's very, very volatile too. So be very careful, Wendy. Thanks for sharing that one. All right. One more other person on YouTube says, what about MUDs? The MUDS? Yeah, we traded that too. It just made a nice little pop right here. MUDs, it's got some good, the only issue I remember, it's got a very big spread. So remember, the spread's pretty wide, small tier sizes. If you're not a trader that makes between, 50 cents, 500, 1,000 a day, be very careful of the stock. It is pretty volatile. But yeah, I'll throw it on the B list. That's not bad. I traded MUD before. It's a category 3, if I remember. All right, guys, let's get ready to trade. The market's going to open up. Let's go fill up our coffees. I got my nice little Krispy Kreme cup the other day. Went to Manhattan. They opened up the new branch. What a beautiful place. Cost me about $15 for this stupid cup, or maybe $10 probably. But I just love it. It's a nice cup. Fill a lot of coffee in it. So let's go fill up our coffee. Let's get ready for the open. And once again, if you're watching us on YouTube, Facebook, always friend us, like us. If you want to watch, subscribe to our channel. You can always do a trial. Cyber traders, you see something, you say something. All right, guys? That's what it is. And the people that are doing a trial, hopefully you're enjoying yourself, and hopefully you did your walkthrough with our instructors and our staff, so at least you can get the benefit of having the fun of being in here and knowing what to appreciate. Because remember, trading's a great job. We love it, but it's not for everybody, and that's not a bad thing, all right? You got to learn before you can earn. Good luck, everyone. We'll see you back here at 2:30.